家好，我先自我介绍一下，我姓刘，然后很开
Hello
心给
everyone.
大家带来今天的课程。大疆视图电力巡检航线规划。
Firstly, let me
在
introduce
中国
myself briefly.
大家学到了大疆
My
制动系统
family
的工作，
name
双
is
方合
Liu.
作。而今天我们要学习
Today,
如
I'm
何去
so
通过大疆
happy
图
to give you the
完成测
lecture
绘建图。
about the
那么接下来
explanation of
我会给
Dajiang
大家
Terrain
进行讲解。
electric
讲解
power
之后，我会把
patrol
软件打开，
inspection
实
route
际去
planning.
做一个简单的演
And
示。
yesterday, we have learned how to use Dajiang Terrain to complete mapping.
巡检区域模型重建技术。
So today, I
首
will
先，我们把目
explain
光移至右侧3幅图上。
via the PowerPoint.
3
And
维场景
after the
模式
lecture,
分
I
为
will
3种：农田
make
场
a
景、
simple
可能是树场
demonstration.
还有果树场景。我们在现实中使用
So
的
for
是
the model
人工的农田场景，
reconstruction
可以
technology
设
of
置为
petrol
10个 场景
inspection,
就可以。其中农田场景和果树场景是实
let's
验
have
大
a look
件
at the
农业
three
指
images
导
on
工
the
作使用
right.
的。当地
There
形
are
有启
three
动时，
kinds of
农田场
two-dimensional
景和
reconstruction
果树
modes,
场景重建阶段可
namely
能出现错误
farmland scene,
或拉花现
urban
象。
scene, and
当
fruit
我们
tree
通常在
scene.
建图时，到选择场景
We
测绘
can
的时候，
correspond
无
different
论
themes
城
with
市
the actual
还是
scene
农
in
村，
reality.
测绘作业都
Among
可以
them,
选择指示场
farmland
景。
scene and the fruit tree
在
scene
大
are
疆
suitable
产品测绘过
for
程中，
Dajiang
有
agriculture
3种
plant
相机可以更好地全程为我们
protection
测绘作业，
UAV. When the terrain
分别
is
是 P4R 精密色图测绘
undulating, the
海洋光
reconstruction
相机
results of farmland
P1
scenes and
以
fruit
及
tree scenes
它们
may
都有一
be
个共同的
dislocated
特点，
and or
都拥
uneven.
有机械快门。
In general,
那机械
urban
快门
scenes
大部分
should
是
be
电子快
selected
门，
for
它在
surveying
无人
and
机的
mapping
测绘过程
operations
中进行
in
拍
both
摄时，
in both
可以
urban
完
and
美地重新
rural
处理照
areas.
片原来的画面，不会造成果冻效应，
In the
也就是拍摄物体的
surveying
变
and
形。
mapping process, there are three
测绘
cameras
建图
that
标
can
志时，
better complete
无人
our
助图最
task,
大的优点是
namely
在效率这方
X7,
面， 比市
P4R,
面上
and
大部分的图
P1.
形软件
They
提
have
升
a
了
common
大量。
feature, that is, they all have mechanical shutters, which are different from electronic shutters. They can perfectly
这是
present
2 个
the
特点，
original picture
我播
of
放一
the
下。
photo when shooting in the high-speed movements of UAVs without the
实 时
deformation
成
of the
像功能，
photographic object.
基于
And
地图定位、地图构建
when
和影
mapping,
像
the
侦察等
biggest
因素，
advantages of
在
Dajiang
不同情况
Terrain
中
lies on the
实时
efficiency.
生成
It
2
can
维
be
照射影
5
像，
to 10
实
times
现
more
边飞边走
efficient
功能。
than most
在
others
作
of
业
the
期间
wares on the
及时地
market.
发现问题， 灵活采取更具针对性的应对措施。 那么这个
And the
功能
real-time
会和海
reconstruction
外的国家改
function,
变， 比如
it
抢
is
险救
based
灾、
on
应急救援等等。
synchronous positioning, mapping, map
2维重建功能
construction and
这
images,
是一个非常
or
普遍的解决
also
功能。
photo correction
当我们采集到画面数据，
algorithm
最好
generates
今天
two-dimensional
生成出
also
我们
photo
的完整
image
的
in real
平面
time
模型。
during flight.
平
In
面
the
模型
real-life
我们在
mapping
这个
while
平面模
flying,
型上可以
problems
获取
can be
到
found
来
in
自地
time
理建筑
at
物
the
的表
operation
面信
site,
息。
and
拍
more
摄时间
targeted
比较短，
countermeasures
首
can be
先需要购买一台具
flexibly
备航
taken.
速功能的无人机，
This
或者说
function
测绘相
has
机，
brought great
然后可
changes
以相
to
机
many
镜头调
industries,
节至负九
such
十
as
度，
emergency
针对
rescue,
地面进行照片、数据的采集。
emergency rescue.
拍摄前需要对我们的相机曝光等参数设置好，锁定曝光进行拍摄。
Just
其
now
次
I
是
mentioned the
数据航线的规
two-dimensional
划与
reconstruction
合理。
function, which is very common mapping function.
航线参数的
It
设
can
定，
combine the photo
正
data
确
we collected
避
to
开
generate
障碍
a
物
complete
来进行航线。
two-dimensional plane model. We can obtain the surface information of some geographical buildings on this two-dimensional plane model, and the shooting
刚才
method is
我们讲到
simple.
了实施2维重建功能， 当然我们也有实施3维重建功能。 基于 DJI 先进
First,
的
we need
实
to
时传
prepare
感
a
系统，
UAV
将
or
2维
mapping
采样
camera
数据
with
开始
aerial survey
实时
function.
生成
and then adjust the camera lens of the UAV to -90 degrees and conduct photo data acquisition on the ground. Before shooting, we need to set our camera exposure and other parameters. Lock the exposure for shooting. Secondly, the route planning in the mission area should be reasonable, and the route parameters should be set correctly to avoid obstacles. And just now, I talked about the real-time two-dimensional reconstruction function. Of course, we also have the real-time three-dimensional reconstruction function based on the advanced real-time reconstruction algorithm of Dajiang. We can visualize the data collected by UAVs and generate high precision and high quality three-dimensional models in real time to meet the requirements for the display and accurate measurement of accident scene, engineering monitoring, electrical line patrol, and other things. However, this is supported only by Smart Fasten 4 RTK, Smart Fasten 4 Pro V 2.0 Plus, and Smart Fasten 4 Pro V 2.0. Post-processing for three-dimensional reconstruction.
激光雷达处理、后处理，说的也是在我们软件里对我们拍摄下来的点云数据进行一个处理，生成3维带颜色的成果图。
During the flight,
通常以毫米级的精度。
UAVs can collect image data from multiple angles and automatically generate high-precision three-dimensional model of the real scene by Dajiang software. And here is the two-dimensional multi-spectral reconstruction function. Dajiang has a model of Samsung 4 multi-spectrum version. This aircraft camera has 6 lenses with different colors, and it can observe more information than visible light. It is mainly used to help judge plant growth conditions and abnormal problems. LE LiDAR post-processing means that we can process the point cloud data captured to generate a three-dimensional result, map with color. The point cloud usually represents the landscape, buildings, objects, etc. with a millimeter precision. The point cloud has higher density, higher quality. And this coordinate system simply describes whether the images we collected are attached with pulse data. Pulse data records the position of a photo, and each photo corresponds to a pulse. The pulse data contains XYZ coordinate system, height data, etc. Region of interest modeling. The aerial triangulation can only perform it can only be performed after the aerial triangulation. You can select manual, automatic, or KML import methods to determine the region of interest, which can save a lot of time. The coordinate system mentioned here is a little bit complicated with a lot of knowledge because the photo we take coordinate system, we may have a deviation from the actual position. The selection of a coordinate system is different because of our different position. We should select coordinate system when importing
制图
photos for
软件会
modeling.
根据
If there
照
is
片
a
中的
pose
pose
data
设
in
计
the added
在
photos,
已知坐标系
when
菜
two
单中做
dimensional
匹配
reconstruction
对
is
应的
carried out,
大地坐
the
标系
output
及
coordinate
对应
system
坐标系
will be automatically
如
set to
果需要更改，则
non-coordinate
需要选
system.
择相应的大地坐标系
If
及对应坐标
three-dimensional
系。
reconstruction is performed, the output coordinate system is
相对
automatically
的
set to
相对的
arbitrary
是摄影测
coordinate
量、控
system.
制加密和
It
彩
will
图的计算。
automatically match the
首先
corresponding
摄影多相控点
geodetic
和两个
coordinate system
分
and
布经验
projection coordinate system in the
刻画全
non-coordinate system
在
menu,
影像
according to
清
the
晰
pose
可见
data in the photo.
相反
If
的
you
话
want to
目标
change,
选择的好
you
坏
need to select
只
the
是点位的
corresponding
准确程度
geodetic
直接会影响
coordinate
最
and
后的成
projection
果。
coordinate. The image
所以说进行
control
摄影
points
大
are
概
the
有
basis
3
of
个质量
photogrammetric
物质相控点是很重
control
要的。
in
我们参加的大
in
赛需要进行测绘的
preparation
面积
and mapping.
相对来说比较小，
The oblique
不用布置
photography
相对
arrangement of
便
image
会做
control
简单
points
调整。
can make the
做一些
model
设置时需要
run out
已知的
evenly
就可以。
distributed, clearly depicted, and clearly visible in the image. The quality of target selection of image control points and the accuracy of indication points directly affect the
下面
accuracy
才
of
是一项
results. Therefore,
二
it
维
is necessary to
三维
arrange
重建流程。
image
我们先说
control
二维重建流程。
points in large scale surveying and
如画面
mapping
中
with
所示，
still photographs for
先对
photography.
先对素材进行空3数据处理，然后图片纠正、畸变纠正，说的是我们通过相机广角镜头拍摄出来的照片会出现筒形畸变或者枕形畸变，而我们在
Please note that the area of surveying and mapping required by the context we are going to participate is very small, so we don't need to arrange image control points.
简单说一
When
下
setting the coordinate system, we just choose a non-coordinate
可以画
system.
点云简单来说，
Now
就是
let
一
me
点
briefly talk about two-dimensional and
我们
three-dimensional
效果的起
reconstruction
点
process
是一个
as
3维
shown
的
in this picture.
那
First,
么点
at
云中
first,
的
we
每
process
个
the
点也就是
air
3维点。
aerial triangulation, and then we correct the distortion of the picture. It is to say that the picture taken by the wide-angle lens of the camera will have barrel distortion or pincushion distortion, and we need to correct the picture before modeling to restore it to normal planarization. So I'd like to mention the densified point cloud, which is a pie of points, and we are living in a
点云
three-dimensional
所跑的
world.
信息中有每个点所在的位置，即就是在3维空间中的 x、y、z 坐标，这是必须要有。
So every point in the point cloud is also a 3-dimensional point. Information contained in the point cloud includes the location of each point,
从哪
that is, the XYZ coordinates in 3-dimensional space, which is necessary information.
多种多样。
Besides,
这里
the
简单
color
解释
information, light intensity,
3维
category
镜头
labels
扫描
can be included.
照相机扫描
Then where do
逆向
those
工程
point clouds come from?
而我们
According
现
to
在
different
所使
application
用
needs of
最多
point
的
clouds,
都是照相
their
机
sources may
扫描
also
以及
be
3维
diverse.
激光雷达扫描技术。
Now I briefly introduce
这样
several
的分块
kinds.
重建呢，其实
They
很简
are
单的就是
3-dimensional
需
LiDAR
要
scanning,
测绘
camera
区域
scanning, and
进
reverse
行
engineering.
分块建
Among
模，
them,
有
camera
些
scanning and
专业测绘软件
3-dimensional
可以
LiDAR
完成。
scanning technology.
但是我们大疆之图是把这些功能进行了集成，
So the next
全部
part
自动化了。
The next part is the partition reconstruction.
在测绘行业中，有很多
In the surveying and mapping industry, there are
DSM、
many professional terms
DEM、
such as DSM,
DLG
DOM,
等
DEM,
这些
DLG,
都是最
etc.
终形成的测绘成果。
These are the
那
final
里有很多
surveying and mapping
DSM
results. And just now I mentioned the DSM and DOM.
DSM 指的是包含了
DSM
各个角
refers
度
to the ground
桥梁和树木
elevation
等包括
model,
的地面高程模型，
which includes the
可
height
以
of
最真实
surface,
地表达地
buildings,
形起伏情况，
bridge, trees, etc.,
可
which
广
can
泛应用于
represent
各
the
行各业，
ground
如
undulation
森林地区可
realistically
以用于检测森林的
and
树
can
冠
be
成分。
widely used in
在
all
城
walks
区
of life.
DSM
In
可以用
forest
于检查
areas,
城市
it
的
can
发
be
展情
used
况，
to detect the
而
growth of forests.
DOM 是对
In
城市
urban
排水效
areas,
率进行
DSM
数
can be
据
used
研
to
究
check the
和下线，
development of the city.
按一定
DOM is
图
a
范
collection of
载体
digital
生成的数
ortho
字
photos
折射影像图片，
generated by digital
它是
differential
同时
correction
具有
and
地图几何维
mosaic
度
of aerial
和图
photographs
像特
and
征的表现。
clipping according to a certain map range. It is an image with
瓦片
both
切割
map
瓦片切割指的是
geometric
我们已生成好的成果地图
accuracy
进
and
行切割，
image
分
features.
成多个小区域。
Shingle
测绘对
cutting
象
means that
我
we
们
have
会
generated
根据
a result
应
map
用区域
and then
进
cut
行
it and divided
每个地
into
做个
several
小整
small
理，
areas, then carried out, then post-process it, and finally convert the local coordinate system according to the application area.
在三维模型、三维建模的流程在前面大致和二维是相同的。
So the process of three-dimensional modeling is roughly the same as that of two-dimensional modeling, but there are some differences in the later
每一个
steps.
图片
Now let's have a look at the
前一个图片
comparison
有差异，
and contrast of the following pictures.
先形成一个粗糙模型，再对粗糙的模型进行优化，使模型表面
And as you can see, each picture is different from the previous one.
且更凸显轮廓。
At first,
然后
a rough model is formed, and then the rough model is optimized to make the corners of the model surface smoother
纹理
and
就是
more
物体上呈现的
prominent,
线性纹路。
and then the grid
那么纹理其实是
texture
有很多
refers to
种类的，
outlining the
比如
external texture for the
半石
model.
镜
Textures
片、
are
木材
linear patterns on
斑
objects,
等等
so there are
非常
many
多。
kinds of textures, such as marble, gradient, wood, speckles, etc.
把这些纹理贴在物体基础模型表面，
Let's paste
最后
these
生成
textures
模
on
型。
the surface of the
其实我说的
basic model of
不
the
管是
object
前面的二
and
维
finally
建模过
generate
程
the
还
model.
是三
In
维
fact,
建模流
no
程，
matter the
在
no
大家对
matter
这个过
the
程中，这些
two-dimensional
纹理
modeling
全
process
部
or the
进行了变
three-dimensional
成
modeling
自动化处
process,
理。
these
这
functions
些
are
细
all
分地分化
integrated
步骤
and
都要在一些第三
automatically
方页面数
processed
据处理软件
in
上
the
可以
Dajiang
看到。
Carrion software.
接下来我们讲讲巡检区
And
整个
these
流程。
dividing steps
第一步
can only be
选
seen
择
on some
高配置的系
third-party
统的电脑。
data processing software. Next, let's get to know the process of patrolling area reconstruction.
在我们进行测绘内页时，建模跟渲染是最需要电脑性
The
能的
first
时候，
step is to
显
select
卡
a computer with a high configuration and
且最低要求1050
better
存
performance.
闪存
when serving and mapping,
就在于你建模的时候提供屏幕
modeling and
实时
rendering have a higher requirements
就是说
for the
显卡
computer.
对渲染之前的操
For
作的
example,
畅
the
行
video
和实时
the
反馈速度有帮助。渲染时显卡也有一定的
For
加
example,
速
the
能力，
graphics card must
渲
be
染
displayed
期限
alone,
是
and the
300
minimum
以及内
requirements
存
is
显卡配置如果说低了，我们提供
1050
200
Ti video
显卡规
memory,
格的时候
4G
会
or
出现加快
more.
缓慢，
The function of the
严重时会出现
graphic
4G
card is to provide
崩溃
real-time screen preview and window refresh when you are
渲染
modeling.
是这
That
样，
is to say,
当我们
the
需要把模
graphic
型或者场景
card
输出
is
成有
helpful
效
for
的
the
文
smooth
件、视
operation
频信号
and
或
the
者电影图
real-time
片，
feedback
就
speed
必须
before
进行这个
rendering.
渲染。这个操作会
And
对 CPU
also,
和
it
数据
has a
极为
certain
敏感，要求性能
acceleration
更新，
effect
对
during
性
rendering.
能
But the
提
main
升巨
force
大。
of
此
rendering
外，也对内存
depends on
硬盘响应速度的要求
the
也比较高。
depend on the CPU and
呃，
memory.
这里
If
有
the
说到，
configuration of the graphics card
这
is
里有说
low,
到，最
it
低要
will
求显卡
load
的计算能力在
slowly,
3.0
or it
及
will
以
get
上的
stuck
运算。
when the model
关于这
surface
个
is
显卡
loaded
计
to
算能
tens
力
of
啊，
millions,
怎么去查看？
or
也
even
请大家
it
去网上
will
自行搜
crash
索。
in serious
大
cases.
家在建模时，如果是偶尔小范围小区域建模，使用最低
In
配
the
置
rendering
就
phase,
可以完成。
when we need to output the
有大
model
面积
or
建模日
scene
志
as an
在 采
image
用
file,
推荐配
video
置，
signal, or
也
film,
就是下
we
面
must
推荐的。
render it. This operation is extremely sensitive to the number of CPU cores. The multi-core feature can greatly improve the performance. In addition, it also requires high memory and hard disk response speed.
好，
Here is an
第二步，
N
我
card
们可以
with a
在
minimal
任何
graphic
类型
card
的界面开发时
computing
都在
power
实
of
现。在
3.0
软件类型
or
中
above,
选择三维
and
格式
how to
面
check the
数
computing
显
power
卡
of the
组成，
graphic cards,
方便我们
you can search
在检
online
测
by yourself.
查找。
When modeling, if you occasional model in a small area, you can use the computer with the lowest configuration. But if you have a
最后
large
提到的类型
area modeling task, you must use the recommended configuration. Now let's come to
变
the
态这两个字
second
下面
step.
有两
We
个图
can
标，
see many types in the task type
左边的图
interface.
标
Please
有
select the
2个
three-dimensional
不一样的
model
意思。
in the
右边
reconstruction
的雷
type
达图标
and enter the
代表
desired
导
name
入
to
整个
facilitate
模
our
型的
research.
数据。
Finally, we can view it in the left vertical row of the software. Now here, let's select the reconstruction type. There are two icons below the tower. On the left is the import
选
image,
择
and
重
on the
新
right
更新
is
部
the import folder
高
containing the
为
entire
原始分
image
辨率，
data.
中为原始分辨率的1/2， 就是图片长和宽均为原片的1/2。 低为原始分辨率的1/4。 那我们正常其
So
实
when selecting the reconstruction
就是
clarity,
高清晰度更好。
the high is the original resolution, the middle is half of the original resolution, and the low is a quarter of the original resolution.
选择合适的建图场景，普通场景适用于
Selecting the
绝大多数
appropriate
的
drawing
场景，
scene.
包括
Ordinary
摄影
scenes are suitable
和
for the vast
正式
majority
拍摄
of
的场
scenes.
景。环绕场景适用于拍摄环绕拍摄的场景，主要针对细小垂直物体的重建，如基站、铁塔。
Including tilt shooting and forward shooting themes. Surrounding themes are suitable
电
for
力线场
surrounding
景
themes,
适用
mainly
于
for the
针对
reconstruction of
电力线
small
拍摄的
vertical
场景。
objects such as base stations, icon towers, wind turbines, etc. And the power line themes are suitable for themes shot for the power lines.
在右边的图中有
Now look at the picture on the right.
点云
There are three option
模
switches:
型。
aerial
首先要知道，三
triangulation,
是没有办法
point
作
out,
弊的。
model. You
如
must
果要建图，不管是
note that
还是三维，
the aerial
都需要通过
triangulation
三角测
cannot
量
be
技术。
closed.
如果空中三角测量这一
If
步
you
没
want
有
to
办
build
法
a map,
通过检测，
whether it
证
is
明还是
two-dimensional
图
or
像数据有
three-dimensional,
问题，
you need
可能
to
缺少
complete
照片、
aerial
参数、
triangulation.
X 数据等等。
If
只
the
有空
aerial
三通过
triangulation
了，
cannot pass
才
the
可以进行
detection,
建模。
it proves that there is a problem with the photographic
点
data.
云开关
The
的
possible
话，
reason
会
would
生
be
成一
a
个
lack of
三
photos
维点云
or a
模
lack
型。
of post data,
如果
and
有需
so
要
on.
点开就可以。
Only when aerial
而点云模型
triangulation passes
在中
can
国
you model.
最常用的
When the point out
就
switch
是我
is
们的
turned on,
LAS
a
格式。
three-dimensional point cloud model will be generated.
模型这里就不多说了。
The
根
most
据选择
commonly
的
used
2维
format
还是
in
3
China
维，
is
最终
LAS.
生成出相应的模型。
I won't talk about the models anymore here. And the corresponding model will be finally generated according to the two-dimensional or three-dimensional selected.
格式的选择大部分还是根据用户自己的需求。比如有的客户使用的
As
软
for
件
the
就只
choice
能
of
查看 OSGB
format,
格式的模型，
it is
或者说
mostly
OBG
based on the user's
格式的模型。
needs. For
因为
example,
使
some
用较
customers
高的
can
格
only
式
view models in
使我们的
OSGB format
OSGB，
or OBJ format.
大多
The
数人
format
都
most
支持
commonly
打开
used
这
in
个格式的
China,
模型。
China is OSGB, and most software supports opening models in this format.
在空三生成后，进行
After
详
generating
细区分的
aerial
选择，可以
triangulation,
节省我们的建模时间，
you can select the
这里
area
我
of
在
interest
软件
to
使用
save
中
modeling
会给大家
time.
进行一个示范。
Later, I will show you how to operate.
第8步，点击开始重建，软件将弹出对话框，询问用户是否复制照片到当前任务
So the eighth step is to
如果
click
勾选复制照
Start
片，
to Rebuild,
就
and
会
the
推发
software will pop
会
up
被
a
复制
dialog
到
box
当前任务文件夹。
asking the
后
user
续导出选择
whether to
时
copy the
会
photo to the
包含
current
照片，
task
如
folder.
果不勾选
If you check
复制照片，
Copy
照片
Photos,
不会被复制，
the added photos
导出
are
任务
copied
时
to the current task
也不
folder,
会包含
and
照片。
without checking Copy
然
Photos.
后选择后点击继续，已开始重建。下方的进度条会显示重建的进度。
Click Continue to start the
就会
reconstruction.
停止。
The progress bar below shows the
软
reconstruction
件会
progress.
保存当前进度。
During reconstruction,
在
if you
最后
click
如
Stop,
果继续
the
重建，
software will save the current process.
软件会从保存的进度
If the reconstruction continues after stopping, the
进度条会不
software
断继续建
proceeds
模。
to the modeling back from the saved
第9
progress.
步，可开始多个重建任务。
Step
在
9,
第一个
you
开
can
始
start
重建任务
multiple
完成前，
reconstruction tasks
其余任务将处于排队重建的
before
状
the
态。
first starting
上一个任
reconstruction
务完
task
成后，
is completed.
其余
The
任务
rest of the
会
tasks
按
will
开
be
始
in the
顺序
queuing
依
reconstruction
次
state,
进行重建。
and after the completion of the previous task, the rest is reconstructed in the order of starting the reconstruction.
建模完成后，用户可对模型进行平移、
After modeling,
旋转的
user
头
can shift,
以不
scale,
同空间
rotate,
查看。
and
鼠标
do
左键
other
点
operations
击
on the
键
model.
左右滑动可以平移模型，滑动鼠标滚轮放大或缩小模型。
In order to view from different angle, you can click the model with the left mouse button, slide
鼠标
left
滚
or
轮
right
滚轮
to
键点击模型后，滑动可旋转模型。
slide the mouse wheel to zoom in or out of the model, and click the mouse wheel to click the model to slide the rotation model.
点击窗口下方空3点云模型字样，可以切换模型显示样式。
Click on the lower part of the window to switch the display style of the model. The point cloud style can select
在这个位置，
RGB mode.
点云样式又可以再选择 RGB 模式、高度模式。
The point cloud style can
电云
select RGB mode, height mode, and the point cloud size.
RGB 说的是原始的扫描颜色，而高度样式是以红、绿、蓝3种
The style mentioned here
表
includes
示不同的
RGB and
看
height.
流程。
Here RGB refers to the original scanning color, while the height style represents different altitude layers in red, green, and blue.
这里的图可能有一点小，看的不是很清，一会儿在软件里给大家详细的看一下啊。
Probably you can see that clearly in this
用的也完全
picture,
不同。
but later after lecture I will show you in the software.
质量报告，点击质量报告是可以查看并保存 HTML 的格式的一个报告。报告中包
If
含
you click a quality report, you can view and save the HTML report.
相机信息、
The report includes an overview of the reconstruction results, RTP status, camera information, software parameters, etc. Users can refer to the quality report description document on the Dajiang official website for detailed information in the report.
航点飞行，可以先看一下我们这个视频。
So about the airport flight, please look at the video.
第一大块我们讲完巡检区域模型重建技术。第二块我们讲讲模型规划自动航线的技术。
Just now in the first chapter, we have finished the modeling reconstruction technology of the patrol inspection area.
生成的模型上
And next, in the second part, we will talk about the automatic route planning technology of the model, which is very important in today's lecture, and how to plan the route on the generated model.
建立起一条航线。这个航线
You can see the airport flight on the graph. We can generate multiple
每一个航点
airport
都可以单独设置参数，
airpoints.
其中包括高度、水平速度、垂直速度、航向等参数。对于精细化
A route can be established between each
二维正设地图
airpoint.
3维模型上进行
At the same time, each airpoint can set parameters independently, including altitude,
第二，
horizontal speed,
建构
vertical
平台
speed,
可
heading,
在地图上
heading, and
实
other
现大致
parameters. For refined
所
flight
以
missions,
3个航点
airport
双向提
points
供一片区域，
planning can also be carried out on the
区
established
内的航线也
two-dimensional
随之
orthophoto
清晰
map
化。
or three-dimensional model with a more intuitive planning effect.
由
For the
于中间航
second,
线为
the
大江之图，
build
面
photo
积
aerial
小，角度好
photography.
找，最优航线。
So it is an area which can be generated by manually marking at least 3 air points on the
共
map,
计3种
and
航
the
线，
routes in this
偏好
area
区域
will
和
also
地
be
点。
automatically
规
generated.
划过程中，界
The
面
generated
显示
routes
预计
are
运行
the
时间、
optimal routes
预计拍照数、
automatically
及面
obtained
积等重要
by
信息。
Dajiang terrain, and you can also add the regional boundary points in 3 ways: importing KML files and
第三
marking with a
潜行摄
pilot.
影，
During the
在
planning
地图
process,
上
the
如果在更
interface
大的
will
航线
display the
刚
estimated
扫除
flight
目
time,
标区域后，
estimate
会
number,
自动
and
选择
areas of
同
photos,
组航
and
线，
other important information.
也叫五象航线。其中区域正中间的航线
The
为正向航
third
线，
is
其余
oblique
4组为4个不同方向分布在
photography.
区域四周的航线。正中间的正射区域，无人机在拍摄时，云台相机角度为-90度。
After the target area is selected on the map by means of manual
主要
dotting,
拍摄
5
整
groups
片
of
选定
routes,
区域的顶部
also known
样
as
貌
5
纹理
direction
形象。
routes,
其
will
余
be
4个
automatically generated.
云台相机角度为-45度到60度
Among
之
them,
间。
the route in the middle of the areas in the orthophoto route, and the other 4 groups are 4 routes distributed around the area in different
各
directions.
面的样貌纹理
When
形
the
象
UAV in the
全面的
middle
视
of
角
the
帮助
orthophoto
导演
area shoots, the
掌握
angle of
整
the
个实
PTZ
景三维模
camera
型，
is negative
同时
90 degrees,
支持设置倾
mainly
斜
shooting
云
the
台角
top
度、天
surface
赋、
texture
平板等
image
不同
data
场景需
of
求。
the whole selected area. And the other 4 groups of flying PTZ cameras have an
带状航
angle
线
of minus 45
这个
degrees.
功能
They mainly
会
take
用在
pictures of the
河口
textual image data
河
of the
流
side of the buildings or
广告
objects in the
等
area
带状
and
区
the
域。
shadow surface.
我们从视频
A
或者影片
comprehensive
生成出来
perspective
的航线是
helps
不
to
断
build a more
它们
accurate
存在的就是
three-dimensional
形成了
model
带状航线，
of the real scene. At
还
the
可以
same time,
自由调
it
配
supports
带
setting
带状高度，
parameters such as tilt PTZ
合理
angle to
规划
meet
航线，
different scene needs.
提升作业效率。
The fourth
第5
is a
个
belt
精
route,
细化巡
which
警，
is generally
这个
used
功能
in
主
roads,
要是
rivers,
为
pipelines,
便
and
利
other
现代
belt
设
routes.
计的。首先需要建立三维模型，然后基于已建立好的三维模型，
It
区
can be
间
seen from the
选定
video
航
that
线，
the generated routes are segment by segment, which are
平
connected
面航线
together
建
to
立
form a belt
主要
route.
针对机塔上
Users
关
can
键巡航
also
部位
freely
拍
adjust
摄，
the width of the belt,
合理掌
reasonably
握软
plan
件
the
已
route,
显
and
示好
improve
所有路径、
improve
航
the
线、
operating
拍摄的高度、
efficiency.
变焦倍数
The
等。
fifth is the refined patrol inspection. This function is mainly designed
同
for the
时
patrol
和显
inspection
示
of
航
electric
点
power base
可
poles
以
and towers.
模拟相机图传画面，
At first, a
场景
three-dimensional
选择的角
model
度、
needs to be
航线
established,
规划更合
and
理，
then the
实
patrol
现巡
inspection
警作
route
业流程
needs
自
to
动
be
化。
established based on the three-dimensional model. The establishment of the patrol inspection route is mainly aimed at the key patrol inspection positions on the base tower. We can set all route
第2章第1小节， 简
shooting
单叙述一
actions,
下
zoom times,
精细
etc.
化巡
in
警
advance in our software and display the corresponding analog
首先
camera
帮助
image
建
of
立
the
好的模型，
air points. The airpoint selection is more accurate,
可以选择
the route
本地的
planning
设
is
计，
more reasonable,
或者
and
说
the
是
patrol
大疆
operation
本地的
process
已
is
经生成好的模
automated.
型，直接使用。再一种方式就是导入第三方点云文件，
So the first part of Chapter
然
2
后
briefly
选择
describes the
飞行
refined
平台，
inspection process.
在飞行平台
As you
选
can
图这
see,
里
the first step, import
有
the build
现
model.
在最新版的大疆之图有3种飞行器可以选择 ，M300
The import method can be
京
used
4RK
directly by the model generated
和 America 2合成
locally by 大疆 Terrain.
选择 M300或者 U2 行业版，可以具备变焦功能。
There are different
接
versions.
下来呢，进行航线规划，设置相关参数。航线规划完成后，导出 PML 文件，放入内存卡内。内存卡插入遥控器，打开遥控器，点击航线，点击 KMZ 导入，选择导出的 KML 文件后，电脑上规划的航线会出现在航线界面。点击进入
Second method is to import a third-party point classifier and select a flight
关于
platform.
高度等其他参数，我们在大疆之图内已经全部设置完成，在遥控器上不用再多过。
Only M300 and P4R models can be selected as a flight platform, and M300 has a zoom function. Next, let's carry out route planning and set relevant parameters. After route planning is completed, export the KML file into the memory
然后
card.
呢，这个画面
Insert the memory card into the
就
remote
是我们
controller.
精细化巡演
Open
参
the
数设置
remote
界面。
control and open it. Click the route.
左侧
Then
红色
click the
方向
KMZ
区域
import. Select the
为
exported
服务参数，
KML file, and then
作
the
用语
client route on the computer
当前
will
定位
appear on the surface
右侧
interface.
区域红色
Now,
的
if
区
you
域
click
属
in
于全
to
部
select the
参数，
camera and then
作用于
execute
每一个航
the
点。
route. Now we
右
have
边区
completed
域
all
我
the
设置的
settings
参
of
数，
the
整个航
other
线
parameters,
整个航
such
线
as
上的所有航
altitude
点
in the
都会得到应用。
Dajang Terrain. The screen you are watching now is our refined patrol parameter setting interface. The red framed area on the left belongs to the local parameters and acts on the current air
这
point,
软件
while
可
the
无线
red
化巡检，
framed area on the right belongs to the globe parameters and acts on each air point.
然后在这里可以进行一个任务命名。
Then how to create a refined task? Firstly, let's
左
click
侧
New Task.
有可供大
Select
家选择的
Define
模型，
Inspection Task.
模
And
型的
then
头
you
稍微
will
有一点花。
name your task. Next, select the model.
这是选择的模型。 选择完模型后，选择飞行器，
After selecting the model, you can select the aircraft.
软件可以自动识别飞行器的相机型号。
The software automatically identifies the camera model of the aircraft.
但是
If there are no special
在
circumstances,
软件上
users it's not necessary for users to set it by
就需要自
yourselves.
己更改飞行器，结合现实中使用的飞行器去完成任务。 进入任务编辑页面。
After that, the previous step, let's enter the task editing page.
红色框选区域右侧为任务编辑参数区域，左边区域为模型区域。
On the left is the model, and on the right is the parameter setting area.
航线的设置。 飞行器偏航角。
As for the route setting,
这里这个图，对的，没错。飞行器偏航角指的是无人机执行任务过程中，无人机。
Let's get to know the flight yaw angle. It refers to the orientation of the UAV
飞行过程中，无人机
during task.
对准下一航点飞行，如设置为单独设置航点，可在航点设置中设置每个航点上的飞行器偏转角。
The UAV is aimed at the next air points during the flight. If the air point is set separately, the yaw angle of the aircraft at each air point can be set in air point setting. So there are 4 kinds of actions that the aircraft performs when the flight mission is completed. Number 1 is hovering. After the mission, hover at the final point and the user conducts subsequent flight control. Number 2, automatic return. When the flight altitude of the mission is higher than the set return altitude, the mission will automatically return directly at the current flight altitude. When it is lower than the set altitude, the mission will first rise to the set return altitude and then fly back to the return point. And the return height can be set in the flight control parameters. You can also set it by the remote controller. Number 3, landing in. Upon completion of the task, it will automatically descend to the ground at the last navigation point and turn off the motor by itself. Number 4, return to the starting point to hover. Return to the route starting point and hover, and then the return flight altitude is the same as the automatic return flight. While performing the task, we can also select the proportion of the photos. And because it is frequently used in our daily life, so I won't explain it anymore here. And here is the shooting distance. It refers to the distance between our UAV camera and the target. The distance affects the clarity of results. If the aircraft has zoom function, it can be used to make the aircraft slightly distant and also
黄色框选区
to
域
complete close-up shooting.
可以设置拍摄距离的大小。
Look at the yellow area. Here you can set
航线速
the
度
shooting distance.
指的是飞行器在航线上执行任务时的飞行速度。若
Next
航线
is
设置后
route
设
speed.
置了航线速度，
It refers to the
则
flight
航点
speed
速
of
度与离
aircraft
航点的飞行速度均将自动变
when
化，与
performing
航
tasks
线设置
on
相
the
符。
route.
用户也可根据需要在航点设置中重
If
新
the
对
route
单
speed
个
is
航点
set
进
in the
行设
route
置。
setting, the flight speed of each airpoint will automatically become the same as the route setting. And the user can also reset a single airport in airport
初始速
setting as
指的
required.
是无人机在航线以外的飞行速度，
Now let's have a look at the initial speed.
比如无人机原
It
地起
refers to the flight
飞
speed
后
of the
飞向
UAV
航线起始的
outside
速
the
度。
route.
这个速度可以设置快一些，可以节省时间，因为在这个时候飞机还没有进行拍摄，不用
For
运行
example,
程
the
途跨
speed
过
of the UAV flying to the starting point of the route after taking off in this speed can be set faster to save time because the plane aircraft has
云
not
盘随航
taken
者
pictures
巡
at
航
this
角度
time, so
一
it's
般
not
在这个下
necessary
的
for
速
you
度
to worry about
根据
mapping and
自己
jagging.
设置的航点直接自动生成，一般不需要改变。
So the tilt angle of the PTZ is generally generated automatically and directly according to the air point set by itself in the
设置
refined
航点方
patrol
案
inspection. And
航点设置视角调节
in general,
需要模
you
拟现实中想要的拍摄视角，
need
然后
not to
对准
change
拍
it.
摄目标物点击左键生成航点，然后可以通过键盘上下左右方向键可以调整航点位置，也可
So
通
the method of setting up the navigation point, you can click the navigation point to select
红色
and
按钮
adjust the
变更航点
navigation
位置
point
对该航
position
点进行
through
全
the
面
left
设置。
and the right direction keys of the keyboard, or drag the blue navigation point through the left mouse point
点击
or the
左
red position point to change the parameters of the
切
navigation
换到
point.
上一个或下一个航点，也可通过键盘快捷键进行切换。
You can also use the keyboard shortcut to switch.
Ctrl 加左 ，Ctrl 加右进行切换。
The shortcut is Control plus left or Control plus right.
少个箭头啊，这边少两个箭头。 航点名称，点击界面右上角眼睛图标，可查看并
Click the eye
航点的名称。
icon in the upper right corner of the interface. You can view the name of the navigation point.
航点动作刚说过。
Just now I mentioned the
可添加最多15个航点动作。
point
可以
action.
以添加动作进行删除或
Click
排序。
to click enter.
如
You
果有
can
添
add
加
up
动
to
作的，点击进行添加，动作默认按照添加的
navigation
顺序
point
执
actions.
行。
Delete and sort the added
也
actions.
可在添加动作后进行排序。
If you want to add actions, please click Add, and actions are added in the same order by default, or can be sorted after adding actions.
它是怎么给大家叙述的？悬停，飞行器在该点悬停，可设置悬停的时间。
Let's have a look at those actions. Hover. The aircraft hover at this point to set the hover time. It ranges from 0 to 30,000 milliseconds.
无法在录影状态下执行拍照动作，因为相机正在进行录像。
Photo. Take photos when flying to the navigation point, and please know that you cannot take a photo in video state. Number 3, start video. Start video when you fly to the navigation point. Number 4, end video. You can end it when you fly to the point. Number 5, adjust the aircraft yaw angle. Adjust the aircraft yaw angle when flying to the point of 0 due north and clockwise, ranging from -180 degrees to +180 degrees. Number 6, adjust the head pitch angle. You can adjust the head pitch angle from -19 degrees to 0 degree.
相机朝前。若在航点设置中
when it is -90 degrees, the camera is down, and when it is 0 degrees, the camera is forward. The aircraft first flies to the navigation point with the value in the navigation point setting, and then adjust the navigation point according to the set value after reaching the navigation point.
模型数据的分析方法，最常用的就是在已建成的2维或3维模型上进行测量。测量功能一般分为点测量出坐标系，2个点可以测量出直线距离，多个点可以测量出面积以及体积。模型标注，在测量结束后，对测量结果进行管理，如命名测量对象、标注尺寸、导出结果等，让数据存储更加合理。项目优化。
Here I'd like to introduce the methods for the analysis of the model data. One is two-dimensional and three-dimensional measurements. In the established model, the coordinates, distance, area, volume, and other key data of the target object can be easily measured, so as to provide data support for further analysis and decision-making. Second is the model annotation. After the measurement results are measured, such as naming the measurement objects, marking the dimensions, exporting the results, etc. The third is camera position. Now let's have a 10-minute break.
好，大家好，我们接下来进
Okay,
行
let's come back.
软件部分的一个演示。
Next, I will demo how to use the software.
在讲课之前，我已经把模型已经建好了，包括我们的电力塔的以及2维、3维的模型。
Before the lecture, I have completed the reconstruction, including the electric power tower.
先给大家讲一下怎么建图。昨天应该是说过了，今天简单的再重复一下，给大家加深一下印象。
Firstly, I will review how to mapping, which as mentioned in
点击新建任务，
yesterday's lecture. Click
点击
the new task,
可见光，
the visible flight.
输入任务名称，
Type the name of the task.
然后导入拍摄素材。
And then
这里选
import
添加文件夹，
import the data.
直接把素材文件夹全部拖入，点击选择文件夹，
You can drag the whole
共
folders.
110张照片。
There are 110 photos in total.
这里先给大家演示一下兴趣区域重建功能。
Now I will demo the
导入照片后，
areas of
选择运
interest
行空3， 不
reconstruction.
点击2维与3维的重建，只见空3， 点击空3。
After importing, we will reconstruct the aerial triangulation.
这里有场景的选择，正常我们都是普通场景，如果有特殊需求的才会去改这个场景。
You can select the scenes.
我们看一下里面有哪些东西，基本都是不用改的，直接点开始。
We often choose the common scenes. Without special circumstances, we will not change the scene by default.
稍等一下，它在重建中。
Please hold on. It is in the process of reconstruction.
只见空3的话，速度会比较快一些。
If we only reconstruction
而且我们的照片
aerial triangulation, it will save a lot of time.
好，重建完成。
Okay, the reconstruction is completed.
左键进行平面拖移，
Click the left button of mouse.
旋转。
You can rotate the model.
这是我们空3通过了检测之后，就出现了这样一个模型。
So the aerial triangulation has passed the detection.
勾选2维，不勾选2维了，勾选3维。
Now please click the 3 dimension.
点击
and then click the Advanced
点
Setting.
击兴趣区域分块，
Click the areas of interest.
上面的这些绿图标呢，全部都是我们的相机位姿，告诉我们相机在什么位置。我们也可以把它关掉。
Those
点击右上角的
green
绿
signs
地图标，隐藏相机
actually
位置。
are the cameras, and you can also hide them
点击
by
编辑，
by click the camera button. Now let's edit.
选择区域的时候，记得去正设选择。 点击鼠标左键，
Click the left button of mouse and choose the
区
area.
域选择完成。
After it has been done,
也或者可以点击自动，这是自动框选出的区域。
if you click automatically, there
单
will
从
be
右边
an
反
area
复框选。
chosen automatically.
一般我们都会选用手动去框选。
In most cases, we will choose the areas manually.
好，我们现在手动框选一片区域。 框选完之后呢，点击 Back 返回，
Click the back.
点击应用，
Click the application.
哎，稍等，
Okay, please wait a moment.
好，区域选择完成。
After selecting the areas of interest,
我们在刚才的 PPT 里有讲到，任意坐标系的选择。
just now I
通常我们
mentioned
选择任意坐标系不用去更改，因为我们是运行的是小规模建图。
because it is the small area, so we
勾
will
选 3D、2D 之后呢，
choose
点击
the
重建
arbitrary coordinate
即可
system.
开始。
If you click the aerial triangulation 3-dimensional
刚才就是一
reconstruction,
整套流程，
then we
我
can
现在点
start.
击 Stop 停止，
Just now it is a whole
因为
the
这个重建时间
whole
比较久，
process.
我已经提前把这个模型建好了。
Now I can stop it. Actually, the modeling takes a little bit
我们先来看一下二维平面图。
a little bit minutes, so I have finished the modeling before the demonstration. Now let's have a look at the map.
接下来再看一下 3D 冲出效果。
Just now, what you see is two-dimensional. And here is the three-dimensional.
我们在讲 PPT 的时候，最后4章没有讲，讲的是测量。在这里简单跟大家说一下测量。
Next, I'd like to say something about the measuring.
右上角三角图标。
Click the right upper triangle.
第一个点图标。
The first one is coordinate. Click the left button of the mouse in the picture, and you can view the parameters of that point.
我们选择这个汽车试试。
Let's have a look at the car.
我这个模型精度不是很准，所以高度显示的是-3。 好，我们测量
It's not so
点
accurate.
之间的距离。
Next, let's measure the distance between 2 points.
生成距离。 水平距离。
You can also view the horizontal distance, straight distance, vertical distance, and the slope between the 2 points. And the third, is the measures of the area.
好，它会给大家显示出投影面积有多少平方米。
After you choose an aerial,
体积。
you can get to know the square. The fourth is the volume.
简单的测量方法就在我们这个小图标里。
So please remember
接下来我们退出。
the sign, the triangle sign. That is for measurement.
接下来讲解一下航线的规划。点击新建任务。
Now I'd like to demo the navigation planning.
航线类型、线图航拍、倾斜摄影、
Waypoints,
带光
mapping,
路线、精细模型。
oblique, corridor, detailed
这5个模
inspection.
块刚才在 PPT 里我们有讲到。
We have mentioned the 5 mission types in the lecture.
航点飞行，我们想让它在哪儿飞，选择航点就可以，点击左键生成。
Click the left button of the mouse. You can generate one waypoint.
生成航线后，右上角会显示出参数。
If the waypoint flight is generated, the parameter could also be seen on the right
相机型号的选择，照片的比例，完成动作。
You can set the types of aircraft,
下面
types
是
of
航线
camera,
航
and
线速度
the photo proportion,
云台飞扬角度，还有航点的动作。
the route speed, the
可以选择想要添加的动作，
initial
比
speed,
如
the
拍照
tilt angle of the PGZ,
拍照完成后悬停，
after taking
悬停
photo,
可以更改悬停时间，悬停多少秒？10秒。
hover, and you can set the
完成之
time
后
for
点击
hovering,
保存，
such as 10 seconds.
可以导出一个 KML 文件，
If you save a
保留在我们的飞行器上继续使
KML
用。
files
删除航点，
would be
选中它，
exported.
点击删除。
You can also
圆圈中
delete
有一个
the
S 代表
waypoint.
起始点，
So the circle with a S represents the starting point.
箭图航拍， 3个点可以生成一个区域，
With 3 waypoints,
圈内航线
an
适合
area
由子
would
弹
be
进行计算
generated.
生成。
And the route will be
右边
generated
有基础
automatically.
设置、高级设置、相机设置。
On the right, you can see the setting, advanced setting,
我们可以
and
打开实施二维，在这里可以输入
camera
实施二维。
setting.
场景选用城市场景就可以。
Select the urban scene and the real time.
完成动作，飞行完任务之后自动返航。
The action that is
任务的
returned
高度影响着我们的地面分辨率 GSD。 飞行距离地面越低，我们的成图精度越高，越清晰。 好，我们进行下一个。
if the distance is lower from the ground, the photo will be clearer.
倾斜摄影，
Now let's
倾
come
斜
to
摄影
the
在我们这儿生成
the
完之后呢，
next
会出
step.
现5条航线。
Oblique photography.
是5个方向的航线。
5 groups of routes would be
每个 route 同样
generated
有参数设置。
automatically. On the right, also we can
带
set
过航线，
parameters. The fourth is the belt route.
点击航线预览，可以观察到我们航线，同时还可以去向左、向外、向右去扩大、缩小我们的航线。
You can also freely adjust the width of the belt,
航带切
the
割成
length of the belt.
可以把我们的每一节的航线进行切割。
the root can be divided segment by segment.
接下来演示我们今天最重要的一个部分——精细化巡检，电力精细化巡检。
The last one is the most important part. Electric power refined petrol inspection.
M300 RTK
Select the aircraft. Let's take a Magic 300 RTK as an example.
选择单电塔，
We choose the single power.
这个图形就是我们在外页采集回来的数据做成的3维图形。下面简单进行一个电力航线的一个规划。这是一个绝缘子串，我们可以先拍它的上部分，点击左键，调好视角之后呢，点击左键，直接生成航线。
If you after adjusting the angle, you can click the left button of the mouse and shoot the upper part.
生成完航点之后呢，在左侧第一个拍摄距离，拍摄距离是什么意思？刚才 PPT 中已经讲过了，这里就不再复述了。也可以飞远一点，把我们的变焦调
After
大
the waypoint has been generated, you can set the shooting distance.
变焦，它可以拍到更清晰的照片。
And you can also adjust the zoom.
这个部位是下挂点，下挂点会有金具，我们要看它是否有丢失螺丝、螺栓。航线呈红色，报警，代表距离这个位置太近。这个时候我们有2种办法改善它：增大拍摄距离。
So it can be seen from the photo whether the bolts are normal or whether the insulator string is painted.
“这里还有一个防震锤。
And this is a shockproof hammer.
这个位置距离电线过近，所以我们需要调整位置。
So it is close to the wire. We should adjust the distance.
简单做了一个航线的一个编排。我们正常应该根据塔上需要拍的部位的多少去进行航线的规划。规划好之后呢
Just now, I make a simple route arrangement.
应该调整位置以及变焦的大小。调整好之后呢，在右边设置参数。飞行器偏航角设置为沿航线方向。
Okay, let's set the parameters on the right.
这一步建议大家最低不要低于3米，保持一个安全距离。
It is recommended that the safety distance is no less
下面的设置
than
不用动。
3 meters.
做完了之后呢，我们点击保存。
It's not necessary to change other settings.
点击 KML 的导出。
Click Save and import KML file. And you can say it
把这个 KML 文件
occupies little storage.
遥控器调用就可以。好，以上就是今天的全部课程内容。接下来呢，
That's all
如
for
果大
today's
家有问题的，
lecture.
可以进行提问。
Next is for questions and answering. Let's see whether you have any question.
梁老师，
哎，
怎么样？
基本上跟上了，就只有一个什么震慑没反应过来，还有一个什么绝缘那个，我就没讲了。
好，好，好。那现在是这样子，他们有一个提问时间，这个提问的话，
我现在问了他们，就是跟他们讲了，说现在是提问时间。
好。现在提问的话，他们应该在聊天窗口应该是有吧？诶，咋发成私聊了？
这是我刚刚发给那个，您可以看到是吧？
哦，那没事，好了。就是现在你可以问问他们，谁要问什么，可以在窗口扣1，我给他麦克风传线。
If you have any question, you can text type 1. and then your sound will be activated.
他这里面还有中国人选手，那我跟中国选手，要不然你用中文能跟他们说吗？
他们能听到你的声音，中文的。
对，中文选手是可以听到我声音的。
嗯，
明白。中国选手咱们这边如果有疑问的，可以现在提出。好像没有哎，好像没有的话，那就大家一起留个视频合影，然后就可以结束了。我觉得是这样，您那边帮忙叫大家打开一下摄像头吧。
好。So if there is no more question, please let's come to the last part of today's lecture. Please turn on your camera and show up. We will take a photo together. 有人打开了。
有人吗？
已经有人打开了。
好。还挺多的。
对，那个 Samuel 好像每次都在。Okay, would you please turn on your camera, show up, and let's take a photo together. Thank you.
好，可以。好，谢谢大家，谢谢大家。那今天的课程就到这吧，梁老师，你给他们说一下，谢谢大家的参与。
Okay, that's it. That's all for today's lecture. Thank you for your participation. See you.